You have tried to be strong, keep control, act calmly. But inside, is it in pieces? You may be trying to be stoic, even without knowing. Deep down, you feel that there is a different way of living with more peace, more clarity, less noise. The truth is that in the midst of chaos, being stoic today is almost an act of silent rebellion. And it is precisely this silence that can change your life. Most people are stuck in anxiety cycles, seek validation and impulsive reactions. But there is a path old, powerful, and forgotten by many who teaches you to have emotional control, practical wisdom, and inner strength. Marco Aurelio and Epictetus did not just leave beautiful phrases. They revealed truths that the modern world prefers to ignore. In this video, you will know the 12 Stoic principles that can transform your way of living, thinking, and reacting without having to scream, justify, or prove anything. These are teachings that work in silence. But scream results in your mind, your relationships, and your destiny. If you seek inner peace, emotional freedom, and a more conscious life, this is your turning point. 1. Control what you can, accept what you cannot. The basis of Stoicism is simple: control what is within reach and accept the rest with serenity. Many people spend energy trying to change what is outside their domain. This generates frustration, anxiety, and mental wear. Marco Aurelio said that the secret is to dominate the mind, not events. This philosophy is a powerful antidote to modern times. When you focus only on what you can control, your actions, your thoughts, your reactions, life becomes lighter. We cannot control the traffic, the mood of others, or political decisions. But we can control how we react to all this. This daily practice develops inner peace and emotional balance. Apply this in your daily life with a simple exercise. When something annoys you, ask yourself, is this under my control? If the answer is no, let go. It's like dropping a weight you carried for nothing. This attitude is liberating. Epictetus was clear: if you want to be invincible, don't get battles about what doesn't depend on you. This phrase is a golden key to dealing with social networks, work, and family relationships. Do not try to control everything. Dominate yourself. Imagine a difficult boss. You cannot change his personality, but you can keep your posture calm, work with excellence, and not let it take your peace. This is being stoic in practice. And the more you practice, the more you get stronger. This principle is also valid for goals and results. You control the effort, not the end result. So do your best and trust the process. Don't cover yourself for what doesn't depend on you. This is where Stoicism gives you the power. 2. Thoughts shape reality. Marco Aurelio wrote, "The soul becomes the color of its thoughts." This phrase is deep. Our thoughts are like paints; they can darken or illuminate our reality. When we cultivate negative thoughts, we become anxious, stressed, and even sick. The opposite is also true. Thinking with clarity, hope, and purpose transforms life. Today we live in a polluted world of negative information. Bad news, comparisons on social networks, criticism. All of this affects the mind. Therefore, we need to be vigilant with what we put inside. What you feed, grow. What you ignore, weakens. Adopt a mental cleaning routine. Read something inspiring in the morning. Meditate for 5 minutes. Write 3 things you are grateful. These small habits have gigantic impact. They change their focus and strengthen their stoic mentality. If you repeat 1,000 times that you are unable, you will start to act as such. But if you remember daily that you are able to face any challenge with courage, your brain believes. This is not cheap self-help. It is neuroscience combined with Stoicism. Epictetus said that freedom is not to depend on external opinions. Therefore, take care of your mind like a sacred garden. Put the weeds from toxic thoughts. Plant ideas that elevate you. A powerful practice: whenever a negative thinking arises, question, Is this a fact or assumption? Most of our fears come from assumptions. To think like a Stoic is not to let chaos rule the mind. It is choosing reason instead of emotion. Free suffering comes from resistance. Often suffering is born not what happens, but of the resistance we have to accept the facts. Epictetus said that it is not the things that hurt us, but the interpretation we make of them. When we reject reality, we create pain. To accept is not to conform, to break free. Think of a loss, an end, a resignation. The initial impact is real, but prolonged suffering usually comes from the refusal to accept what happened. We get stuck to an if. Brooding. Stoicism teaches you to live the now with dignity without escaping the truth. Accepting life as it is does not mean giving up improving. It means starting from where you are with what you have. When you stop fighting with reality, you begin to find solutions. Clarity comes when resistance goes away. Marco Aurelio wrote, "Accept everything that comes to you, sewn to the wire of destination." It is a poetic and practical phrase. In times of frustration, remembering this calms the soul. You start to see purpose even in difficulties. In modern life, this applies to small frustrations of backwardness, a criticism, and unforeseen. Instead of reacting with anger, breathe and say, "This is also part." Gradually, you are training your mind to be more flexible and less dramatic. A simple exercise: when something bad happens, try to thank, not for the problem itself, but for the opportunity to practice resilience. This changes the focus of suffering for growth, and it makes you a silent Stoic warrior. For discipline is freedom. Epictetus said, "No man is free if he is not a master of himself." This phrase is a direct blow to the root of procrastination. In the present times, where everything is instantaneous, who develops discipline stands out. Stoic discipline is not rigidity, it is consciousness. It is knowing what should be done and do even without will. We live in an age where comfort has become a priority, but constant comfort weakens the mind. Who runs away from the discipline seeks momentary pleasures and pays dearly later. Those who embrace the discipline strengthens in silence and reap consistent fruits. This goes for health, finance, and spirituality. Start with small goals: waking up early, exercise, studying every day, fulfilling promises. With each victory, your trust increases. Marco Aurelio wrote to himself, "Get up, man. You were born to act, not to sleep." This phrase is still a call to those who live by postponing life. It is not about being productive all the time. It is about being intentional. Maybe what you want, don't get distracted easy. And a Stoic is the one who acts on purpose, even when no one is looking. The discipline becomes a habit, then a lifestyle. Use current tools to your advantage: focus, schedule, alarms, schedule. But remember, the biggest system is your trained mind, and it only strengthens itself when you honor your commitments to yourself. This builds self-respect. Every time you win the laziness, you become stronger. Every time it gives into comfort, it weakens a little. Modern Stoic understands this and does the necessary even without applause. This is true freedom, not being a slave to their own impulses. 5. Silence is strength. In a world where everyone wants to talk, silence has become a superpower. Stoic understands that not everything deserves answer. Marco Aurelio practiced self-control amid the chaos of the empire. He knew that reacting impulsively weakens. Listening more and talking less is one of the most effective forms of power. Today we are bombarded by opinions, controversies, and digital fights. Social networks amplified noise. But you don't have to get in all discussions. Silence is a wise choice. Not everything is about you. Not every criticism is relevant. Not every provocation deserves attention. Epictetus said, "Talk only when your words are better than silence." This applies perfectly to this day. Before answering a comment, an offense, or gossip, breathe. Ask, does this build or destroy? This break is pure stoicism. Practicing silence also helps to hear your own inner voice. Many get lost because they live in the outside noise. To silence is to reconnect with what really matters. Make this a habit. Start the day in silence. Listen more, judge less. This transforms your energy. In practical life, silence can avoid fighting, maintaining relationships, and protecting your peace. Responding wisely, or even with no comments, can be more powerful than 1,000 arguments. Sometimes the best answer is not to react. Stoic need not prove anything to anyone. He lives in harmony with his values and actions. Silence in this case is not omission. It is self-domain. A person who dominates his language dominates himself. This is real force. 6. Adversity reveals who you are. Difficult times are character tests. Stoicism teaches us that the fire of adversity purifies the soul. Marco Aurelio wrote during plagues, wars, and betrayals, and yet kept his serenity. He knew we didn't choose what we faced, but we chose how we face it. In modern life, adversity can come in the form of financial crisis, illness, loss, or failure. In these moments, it is natural to be afraid. But Stoic breathes deep and wonders, what can I learn from it? How can I grow with it? Epictetus was a slave before being a philosopher. He knew what was suffering on his skin, but used each difficulty as fuel. He said that the difficulty is the raw material of greatness. And it was right. Only in pressure is the diamond formed. Adversity also reveals who is on your side. That's when everything collapses that you see who really matters. Stoic does not expect support. He thanks when he has, but remains firm even alone. This generates an unshakable inner force. Practice this in your daily life. When something goes wrong, avoid the role of victim. Breathe, accept, and act. Have faith in your potential. The force does not come from the absence of pain, but from the decision to continue even with pain. This is silent courage. Use adversity as a mental academy. Each challenge faced training you for the next. When you change your posture in the face of pain, it loses the power to destroy you. This is the stoicism lived in the real world. This is what transforms. 7. Live with purpose, not on impulse. Marco Aurelio said, "Stop acting as if you were 1,000 years to live." This is a powerful warning. Living with purpose means living with intention. Many today are just reacting to life, living in automatic. But Stoic lives clearly. Each action has a reason. Each day it has a meaning. In everyday life, this means not wasting energy with what it does not build. Ask yourself, does this decision bring me closer or move away from the life I want? This removes you from passing impulses and brings you closer to conscious choices. Stoic does not live by emotion, but by principles. Purpose need not be something grand. It can be to take care of the family, seek wisdom, work with excellence, serve others. The important thing is to know why each step. Living without purpose is like navigating without a compass. You get tired and nowhere. Today we are distracted by notifications, vanities, and manufactured desires. Stoic turns off external noise and listens to what the soul really wants. He lives less for what the world expects and more for what his conscience approves. This gives peace. Make a list. What do you value? What do you want to stop? Legacy. What kind of person do you want to be? These questions guide your life. The more aligned you have your answers, the lighter your walk will be, and silent will be your greatness. Avoid living in fires mode. Have a direction. Even if everything changes around, who has the purpose is not lost. Life becomes more significant when you walk with intention, not on impulse. And this is one of the foundations of modern Stoicism. 8. Gratitude is a form of wisdom. Epictetus said, Don't spoil what you have been wishing for what you don't have. This thought is deep and current. Modern culture encourages constant comparison, but Stoic trains the mind to think. Gratitude is presence. It is lucidity. It is maturity. It is not accepting little. It is valuing a lot. The habit of thinking changes your perception of reality. You stop looking at what is missing and begins to see what already exists. Health, friends, the chance to start over. All this is valuable. But when we only look ahead, we forget what we have already achieved. In practice, start the day by noting 3 things you are grateful. This changes your mental frequency. It takes you off the autopilot and puts you in the present. Gratitude is not a cliche, it is a spiritual, stoic, and powerful exercise. Marco Aurelio, even in the face of diseases and losses, always wrote about virtue and harmony. He found beauty even in chaos. This is wisdom, because everything can be a source of gratitude if you look in depth. Even pain can teach. Gratitude strengthens relationships, improves mood, and protects the mind. As you thank you create a shield against chronic dissatisfaction. What's more, you inspire others to do the same. The world needs more grateful people and less complaining. Make gratitude a silent and personal habit. No need to post, just feel. At the end of the day, remember a good moment. This helps you sleep better and live more lightly. This is being stoic in essence. See value even in the simple. 9. Be indifferent to the opinion of others. Marco Aurelio wrote, "The opinion of others is their problem." This phrase must be tattooed in the minds of those who want to live in peace. The modern world trains us to seek validation, likes, compliments, approval. But Stoic is free of this prison. He does what is right, not what pleases. Seeking to please everyone is exhaustive and useless. There will always be those who criticize, even when you do everything right. Epictetus said, "If you want to be free, stop caring about what others think." This freedom is rare but possible. Start gradually. Wear the clothes you like, even if you criticize. Follow the way you believe, even without applause. Your peace is worth more than the opinion of those who do not pay their bills. The less you depend on external approval, the more you are. This does not mean ignoring useful feedbacks. It means filtering what serves and discarding what only destroys. Stoic learns with constructive criticism, but does not cling to empty judgments. He knows the only opinion that really matters is that of your conscience. In the digital world, this is even more important. Don't answer haters. Don't live to impress. Do what is right. Recognition will come from who really matters at the right time. The most valuable approval is of yourself. Those who live on others lose control of their lives. Stoic prefers to be faithful to its values than to be popular. And this firmness attracts true respect. Who you are without the audience. This is inner strength. 10. Death as a counselor. One of the most powerful principles of Stoicism is the constant memory of death. Mente mori, remember that you are going to die. This is not pessimism, it is clarity. Marco Aurelio wrote, "Think of death every day and your life will earn value." It changes everything. The conscience of death awakens us. It reminds us that time is limited and that life is fragile. Who understands this lives with more presence. It values a hug, a sunrise, a conversation. Haste and pride decrease. Humility grows. Today, with so much distraction, we forget that each day is a gift. Modern Stoic is not afraid of death, he uses it as motivation. Lives with calm urgency. It's no use the essentials, because you know that tomorrow is uncertain. Use this concept to make more conscious decisions. What would you do if you were only a year old? Who would you forgive? Where would you put your time? These questions clean what is superficial and leave only what matters. Epictetus said that no one owns anything, not even of himself, only borrowed for a while. This view takes away the weight of vanities and increases the value of essence. To live well is to be ready to leave without regrets. Make the memory of death a boost to live better. Say what you feel. Perform your projects. Love more. Stoic lives as one understands the end, but focuses on making sense in the middle. This is wisdom that liberates. 11. Virtue is the true success. For Stoics, success was not having much, but being too much. Marco Aurelio, even being an emperor, valued virtue more than power. He believed that the true greatness was in being fair, honest, patient, and brave. What do you do when no one is looking? This defines your success. Today, many are successful by numbers, followers, money, fame. But these are fragile and passenger. Virtue, on the other hand, is solid. It does not depend on external circumstances. You can be poor, sick, or rejected, and yet be a successful man or woman. Epictetus said, "You are not your goods, but your choices." This frees us from the race for validation. A modern Stoic lives with ethics, honors his word, takes care of others and himself. He may not be recognized by the world, but he lives in peace with his conscience. In practice, live with integrity. Fulfill what you promise. Be kind without interest. Work with excellence even without supervision. This is a silent success. And it is this success that builds real respect, not the passing applause of social networks. You can win the world and lose your soul. So align your goals with your values. Be ambitious, but with virtue. Build, but without stepping. Grow, but without corrupting who you are. The real success is to be proud of who you became. At the end of your life, it's not what you have, but who you weigh on the balance. And the Stoic understands that. He lives on purpose, acts with morals, and plants seeds that go far beyond existence itself. This is eternal success. 12. Peace is within you. We end with the essence of all Stoicism, inner peace. Marco Aurelio said that happiness depends on the quality of his thoughts. In a busy world, the true revolution is to be calm. Stoics seek silence inside, even if the outside world is at war. This peace does not come from perfect circumstances. It comes from a trained mind, from emotions under control, solid values. When you understand that everything goes through the good and the bad, you stop living in panic. Peace becomes a choice, not a distant award. Epictetus was clear: you can be invincible if you don't get into battles that don't belong to you. This teaches you how to preserve energy, not to get lost in dramas, to take care of what really matters. Stoic peace is practical. It is cultivated in every decision, every thought, every answer. Create peace rituals. Walk in silence. Take a deep breath when you wake up. Read something high before bed. Protect your mind as those who protect a temple. Today, with so much external stimulus, those who take care of their inner world have a huge advantage. Inner peace gives you clarity to choose better, act more wisdom, and even love more. Who is at war with themselves spreads pain. Who is at peace spreads light. And the world needs more light, not more noise. So, before you get out, dive inside. The answer, the strength, the direction. Everything is there. As Stoic philosophy reminds us, you already have everything you need. Just look with other eyes. Just breathe. Just live with presence. Now that you know the 12 Stoic principles, the question that remains is, what are you going to do with it? Will you leave this knowledge saved, like another assisted video? Or will you start applying, silently, a profound change in your life? Remember, knowing does not transform. Acting transforms. And Stoic philosophy is about silent action, daily practice, dominance of itself. Are you ready to take control of your emotions? To stop reacting and start choosing with conscience? Are you willing to exchange anxiety for serenity, ego for virtue, distraction by presence? This transformation does not require screams, requires constancy. And she starts now with you, where she is, taking the first step. If this content has made sense to you, you woke up something inside your mind or heart, then subscribe to the channel and enable notifications. Every week, I bring practical reflections for those who want to live more clearly, inner strength, and Stoic wisdom. This is your growth space, silent, deep, and true.